You're listening to The Pivot Point, where we unpack the defining moments that shift careers and lives. I'm your host, Laura Dionisio, founder of Lead Intact, and my mission is to spotlight the raw, real stories behind career pivots, the fears, the hopes, the messy middles, and the bold decisions that follow. If you're feeling stuck or quietly wondering what's next, I hope these stories help you see yourself a little more clearly and inspire you to start moving toward your own dream life. Let's begin. Welcome to the Pivot Point podcast, Danielle and Laura. Thank you so much for being here. I love it. We just saw each other 3 weeks ago at this point?
Yeah, beginning of October. Time flies.
Wow. And what I
When you're
love
having
about
fun.
when you're having fun, and what I love about Danielle and Laura is we met, it was oh, hi, nice to meet you. And I'm like, I love your story. Will you be my podcast? And without even asking any clarifying question, both of them were like, yes, of course. I love that. My kind of people.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So I'm going to start off with reading your bio. And by the way, I'm excited too because, Laura, this is you're my third or my second Laura at this point.
I love it.
My third Laura at this point. But the two of you are my first partners on here. So I'm super excited.
Fun. Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to read your bio so that everybody knows how amazing you are. And I may butcher some things, and that's just what it's going to be. What it's going to be.
It will be perfect.
It'll be perfectly imperfect. Okay. Meet Danielle Avila and Laura Bettencourt, the heart and sparkle behind El Diamante, Portuguese word for diamond. Did I get it right? Yes. Thank you, Laura.
Yes, you did.
Basically diamond coaching, because that's what they are. They're diamonds. Their story began back in 2006 in dental hygiene school. Laura was the front row energy burst, can confirm, and Danielle was the quiet force determined to make it happen. A chance meetup at Capellini, where Laura worked, turned classmates into lifelong friends. Fast forward through late night study sessions, career pivots, and a whole lot of growth, they realized their true calling, helping dental pros beat burnout, find balance, and fall back in love with their careers and themselves. Now, with over 30 years of combined experience, Danielle and Laura coach, mentor, and inspire others to shine bright, live fully, and own their next chapter, one confident, fulfilled professional at a time. Thank you, El Diamante. Did I get it right again? Oh my God, I'm winning.
Great.
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. So I love your story. You're my first business partners on here. So you've known each other a long time. And what I would love for you to start with, and Danielle, maybe you can go first, is walk us through maybe 2 to 3 months before this business partnership came to be. Where were you? What was happening? What was going on in your life?
Yes. Great question. So a few months before this partnership was born, I was working at a private practice, so clinical hygienist, working at a private practice for probably about 11 years at this point. I was working at the same office. And there was just something inside of me that was there's more. There has to be more. That little whisper just kept creeping up inside of me. And at that moment, I, like I always did, reached out to my bestie, Laura, who was growing within her career. And I was like, hey, help me out here. What do you think I should do? I know that there's more. There's more than just being a tooth scraper. I know hygienists can do so more than that because I see you doing it. So give me some advice here. And so being Laura, as she did, was absolutely, let's talk. And so we had a really great conversation about where I was feeling, burnt out, the hustle, the grind, the fight or flight. And it was in that moment, so much clarity came to me, was I don't need to stay stuck or stagnant in this place any longer. The world is my oyster, and I am going to do whatever it takes to get outside of this four walls of this op. And so I took a leap of faith, and not knowing really at all what I was going to do, what my next move was, where I was going to even work. I had no work lined up. But in that moment, I had never felt so free in my life. And I always try to emulate that feeling because it just felt so good and so empowering. And working, alongside with Laura back and forth, options and what she was doing, we decided to come together and work clinically together, which was really what was the gateway to us starting this business because with her helping me and me really going through the burnout, it was like the growth and the burnout side by side. We were able to really create this beautiful business that we can now help other people that are going through similar feelings do just what we did.
I think a lot of people just in that alone can relate to that. I know I can relate to that. I really want to like zoom into the moment though, because you mentioned that it started off as a whisper. There's
Yes.
more. There has to be more. And then you reached out to a friend. So for our listeners, don't let it be a silo within you. Reach out to a trusted friend. You don't have to make decisions yet, right? You just talk it out. And then you mentioned you talked about the burnout and I can't be in this four walls. But what happened like inside you at that point? Because I am just imagining, and from my own experience talking to clients, it's easy to be like, oh, you heard the whisper and then you did the thing, even though there's no plan. I know there's a lot of things that happened in between. So let's talk through what that was like.
Yeah. So within all of those feelings, yes, a lot of things were happening for me personally. I started to hone in and listen to more motivational podcasts, kind of like what this one is here. The Mindset Mentor, Rob Dial, really was a huge inspiration for me. And just listening, I feel like he was talking to me in that moment, like just listening to the things that he was saying. I invested in a personal fitness coach. And so I was just feeling really good about the inside and knowing that I don't always have to have the answer. And just again, I'm really beginning to work on my personal mindset, I think was that pivotal moment for me when I was able to make those decisions because the scarcity and lack that I was living in was no longer serving. And pivoting and shifting that mindset was really the key to making that decision.
Okay. I love it. So it sounds like support, investment in self, and
Mm,
really doing the work to shift your mindset. And then the outer actions will
yes.
follow. I think that's so important to highlight. Now, moving over to Laura, what was your perspective in this? So take us through 3 months or so before this beautiful diamond coaching came to be.
I've always been one for growth. I always love learning, expanding, challenging myself in new ways. And when Danielle called me that day, I specifically remember I was on a walk at my place of work where she ended up coming to work, where we worked clinically together. And we were having the conversation and I was like, you can't live in that scarcity or stuck moment. Like it's just a matter of trusting that voice that's calling for you and saying, let's do that. And truly like leaning into that whisper. And so when she came to work with me and the rest of the team that was there, we just got to talking and it was like, why doesn't this exist in our world? And if it did, we didn't know about it at the time. And so we just kept like, I don't know, it was like a download, like this vision just kept coming up like, oh, and we could do this and we could help this way and we could create this. And then we just started doing it. And then we started to research like how to get an LLC or a partnership. And honestly, it was just like one step in front of the other, like this beautiful download that came to us and us talking it out and then putting it into fruition. So it was really cool. And I mean, what exactly was I feeling? Excitement, um, the thrill of being able to give back and help to others is always just so rewarding. I think it's taking me a few years to actually confidently say without diminishing like how I truly feel on the inside. Like I truly believe my divine purpose in life is to help others live in their highest self. And through what we're doing and what we've created, I'm able to do that, which is really powerful and amazing.
Love that, Laura. And what I love about your kind of like from your perspective, it sounds like you already, prior to Danielle reaching out to you've already been doing the work because it sounded like you mentioned like you can't be in the stuck mindset, you can't be in scarcity. And then you mentioned downloads, right? And so for the listeners who are like, I don't know what these words mean. Can you talk about a little bit, how did your personal journey start? So it sounded like you've done it for years now. How did that come to be? And who were you at that point, and what made you decide, okay, I need to maybe work on my mindset a little bit?
Yeah. Okay. So, fun fact, I've kind of been this way my entire life. So, I contribute a lot to my parents. Like, so I had, I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't perfect, but I'm very blessed for the childhood that I had, and I was told to believe that I could do anything that I wanted to do. And I've always been positive. I think that's just who I am. Like, my number one strength is positivity. So even in the dark moments, I still try to find the light. I think just honestly, genuinely, that's just who I am to the core. And I always try to find the good, to see the good in situations and humans. And I've always loved personal development. I've read a lot of books. I've taken a lot of classes on personal development just because it's a big interest to me. I love emotional intelligence. Yeah, I love it all. I love neuroscience. So all of that kind of goes hand in hand.
Okay, I love that. So it sounds like what a beautiful sentiment to like grow up with, believe in yourself and to be able to carry that belief through. This question is like for the two of you. So I'm really thinking about the listener, and let's be real, like a little bit me sometimes, where you mentioned like you just kept having the conversation and you had the download. And, like as I'm sure you both have coached your own clients, if we have a lot of thoughts in our like the busy mind, there is no space for download. So can you walk us through like what would you say to a listener or like maybe one of your clients who's just like I don't know, do I schedule time to get the download? Like how does that work?
That's such a good question. Danielle, what would you
Yeah.
say?
I mean, that is a really great question because, like you were saying, in life, I mean, we're also busy, and I hate that word, but full. We're also full. We lose track. And I think that's when we lose sight, and that's when burnout happens. In those moments that we're just so full that we're not taking the time to spend on ourselves. And so I think when you can begin to change your mindset a little bit and allow yourself space to just be, is when those downloads will come. And I know for me, it sounds so crazy. My downloads always come in the car. Like
Mm.
when I'm driving,
Mine are in the shower.
Same.
it's so crazy. I just have like all of the amazing things come to my mind. But it is a practice because there are so many other things that we could be thinking of. We have to allow that whisper to come through. We have to allow whatever's coming to us from divine source, spirit, whatever, like to listen to it and allow ourselves to listen to it and lean into that a little bit more because we could just push it away and stuff it and pretend it's not happening or those visions aren't there. That's never going to happen for me. But when you allow yourself to actually listen to that voice, amazing things can happen. And they do.
I love that.
Right.
Anything to add to that, Laura?
Yeah, I think as far as what I would say to a client is just know where you are is okay. Like, there's no right or wrong. And it's just a matter of giving yourself grace and really figuring out what it is that you do truly want. And when you can really start to listen to what it is that you want and you are in tune and so in tune, and it is a practice, right? It's just like a muscle that you need to continue to work towards or work through. When you do that consistently, it becomes easier and you can really trust your intuition on what it is that it is telling you.
Now, I'm thinking about the me of like, I don't know, 5, 7, maybe even 10 years ago, who was like, okay, great. How do I do that? How do I practice this muscle? Now, keep in mind, the version of me at that time was somebody who was like productivity is king, constantly doing. I didn't understand what space
Yeah.
meant. And I could intellectually understand what you're saying, but completely
Mhm.
foreign. Like, what is intuition? How do you connect? So, what would you say to our listeners, maybe who are thinking the same thing? Like, okay, I'd like to start working out. What do I do? Where do I start?
So I think it depends on the person, right? But everybody gets stuck on like the how or like the concept of what you're doing. So start it. Say you want to, example, you said working out. Say you want to start working out on a weekly basis. Work out for 5 minutes. Start somewhere and start creating a habit off of it. And that can help. Small stacks or habit stacking is really a great tool to use. And again, while you're doing these things or creating, one thing I love to tell clients to do is just sit in space. You know how hard it is for people, us, me, to just sit and be? It's like the most challenging thing ever, I think, because we are so used to that hustle culture, the high performance, the productivity, right? And when you can just sit and set a timer for 5 minutes and just be and do nothing, like that's a huge win. I mean, I would not recommend starting with 5 minutes if you're like the go 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 person. You would probably feel like you're being tortured. But if you could start with a minute or something, that's a great place to start. Start small.
Okay, now I
Absolutely.
am really I'm thinking of past me and the listener who's like, "Okay, I'm gonna put a timer on maybe for 2 minutes to do nothing. How is this gonna" again, stuck with the how, right? How is this gonna
Yes.
lead me to understand what it is I actually want or am meant for in this world? Like, I can't see a path forward. So, like, kind of like, can you explain, like, what the benefits would be or how it could look like or maybe even, like, your own personal experience when you started doing this, like, what has changed for you?
Yes, absolutely.
You want me or
Danielle,
Laura?
I feel like you wanna share.
Oh, I can absolutely share. And so I will say that I was that person that was like, "Okay, great. Tell me to do all these things. What is that gonna do for me? Like, I don't know what you're talking about." And so it is a practice. It is something it's like that and this was a very new terminology for me too. We can dive into this like the feminine energy, which is so new for me. The not hustle, the not grind, the not fight or flight. And so when you're asking or you're telling me that I should take 5 minutes to meditate or to journal or to exercise, okay, and then what? And so but it's like it's that constant state of allowing yourself the space and the time to do these things. So it's like day after day, day after day. Obviously, if you're working out every day, that muscle is going to go stronger and stronger. And I have personally noticed by taking every morning, the second that I wake up to meditate, whether that's 5 minutes or 20 minutes, it starts to make a difference. It starts to change your mindset. It starts to change your beliefs and your thoughts and the way that you talk to yourself. And so I think that it goes back to, I know that it goes back to mindset, just allowing yourself to do it and to like believe that it's going to make a difference because we can meditate and just listen to it and do nothing with it. But if we believe that it's gonna make a change and we've changed our mindset and we have that shift, it does make a difference. And so I know for me, this has been really a huge part of my pivoting in my career is really changing my mindset and not allowing it to continually go to lack and scarcity and the how and the what ifs because that will continue to hold me back.
And I love that you
Yeah.
brought up the career pivoting because a lot of the listeners are on here for that. So Danielle, like maybe you can speak a little bit more to because you have been that person and you can so relate to the person that's like, why would I do this? Like, what do you mean do
Yeah.
nothing? I don't understand what that means. Like,
Yeah.
can you maybe share a personal experience or something where you did this, whatever it is, meditation, 5 minute continuously, and walk us through what was your mind like if we took a peek into your mind before and then what was it after and how did it lead you to do differently or be differently?
Yeah. This is
And
really
Danielle,
great.
sorry, Danielle, can I just add, I feel like I would love for you to share your most recent pivot with homeschooling
Yes, that was
because I feel like
exactly
that is
there.
so powerful.
Yeah, I was gonna share that. And so, yeah, that was exactly where I was gonna share is in the moment that in my mind before, I would listen to a meditation, but my mind would be everywhere else but the meditation. It would be all of the things that I need to get done before the day starts, what I have to cook for dinner tonight, everything but being still and listening and repeating verbiage. And not the moment, I wouldn't say the moment, but after practicing for probably a month, I would say, of true practice, I was able to slow my mind, allow myself to actually sit and feel, which we don't always allow ourselves to feel. And a download or like a thought or a vision came to me. And so in that moment in my mind, it was like I can't even, I mean, all of the, it was like a wave crashed on me. And it was just like a knowing. And in that moment, I was like, I need to homeschool my daughter. Like it was in the meditating, in the inner work, in the mindset work that this vision came to me, and it like changed my life because that was a massive pivotal moment for me professional journey. And so that, again, that knowing that that's what I needed to do has allowed me to make massive changes in my personal and my professional life. And so it's a feeling. Like it's just a true feeling that just like shakes your body. Again, it feels like a wave, almost like an emotional wave. Sometimes it can feel like a burning, like you just know that is exactly what is meant for you. And again, that didn't come from day one meditating or day two or week two. It is something that I had to continue to work on, and I still work on each and every day. But again, when we allow for those quiet times in our mind is when these things will speak to us. So you have to just believe and trust the process.
Well said. And I just want to hone in. So it sounds like it was a really big decision and really bold decision to homeschool your daughter. And just so that we get additional context, was that something you were playing around with or struggling with before you had the download? Like, talk us through that a little bit.
Yeah. So I feel like it was a mixed of everything. It was a mix of everything. It was, again, that little whisper nudging at me again, like that contrast of where I was in my personal and my professional career. I was kind of getting back into that burnout state again. And so I recognized that. I also recognized that she was feeling really anxious and a lot of anxiety. And so that was kind of falling back on me as well throughout the day. And yes, homeschool had always been something I had kind of had in the back of my head as maybe, I don't know, kind of crazy. Should I? No, let's just, do the normal thing and send her to school. But when I decided that, it was kind of a whirlwind of everything. It was like I'm investing in my business 100%. And then after I made that decision to invest in my business, everything else kind of came in streamlined, like day after day. I was like, okay, since you're going to do that, this is your next step. Okay, since you're going to do that, this is the next step. And I feel like when I allowed myself to listen to myself, which is crazy, my world completely changed.
Mm.
And so and I still have to go back to that and like remind myself of those days. Like, it's okay to listen to yourself. Your intuition knows what's like yes or no, like a red light or a green light. Laura and I talk about that often. And so again, it just goes back to the knowing and just the journey that I was on that allowed me to have those thoughts.
I love that. And you know what I love too is like, it's almost like you started this practice thing that Laura probably told you to do. And you're like, I don't believe it, but I'm going to do it. And then it like the visual I'm getting is almost like if there's like a cloth and there was like a hole and like a little bit of your intuition came through, and it sounded like the more you listened, the bigger that hole became. And like,
Yeah.
it sounded like aside from just the career part, home life too, and probably other things, you said your whole life changed. So I love that. Let's go back to Laura. You had mentioned that Danielle started to work at the same clinic. And then from there, talk us through like, how did you go from working together in that clinic, working clinically, right, is what you said, to, you know what, let's just do this thing. How did El Diamant, did I say it right again?
That's enough.
That's enough.
You know what? I'm just going to
Close
say,
enough.
how did
LD
LD coaching? Let's
That's
not let
perfect.
me struggle anymore. How did LD coaching come to be?
Yeah. So it was through those conversations, through those downloads of us talking together. And honestly, like the last 3, 4 years of our journey has been so incredible. Like, not only have we grown so much personally, but we've grown professionally within the world of dental hygiene. We've advanced our career. We became guided biofilm therapy certified, laser certified. We are up to date with all the latest and greatest innovations and technologies. We have formed really incredible partnerships with companies. We offer a diamond study club. So within the dental profession, you have to have continuing education credits. So our Diamond Study Club is to host in-person and virtual events. So people in our industry, professionals in our industry can stay up to date with the latest and greatest. Actually, we're hosting a Diamond Study Club tonight, all on myofunctional therapy. That's another thing that Danielle and I did on our journey. We became myofunctional therapy certified. We just wanted to continue to learn and grow for ourselves professionally and then be able to give that back to our community. And so that's really what we've done. And along that journey, it's allowed us to, like Danielle said, create space and look inward and see where it is that we truly want to help serve. And I mean, we love our dental community and we'll always give back and do our Diamond Study Club. And I think one of the things that both Danielle and I have found throughout the journey, especially like we've hired coaches ourselves, and it's only helped expand our horizon and our own expansion, is really we want to help humans, and that is our passion. And if we can help humans within the dental professional space and outside of that, beyond that, that would be incredible.
What I love about
Did I
everything that
answer
you're
your
No,
question?
you did. You did. And what's I didn't even realize this until like just now when you answered it. It sounds like you're doing a lot of different things within LD coaching. Like you have the professional development with the Diamond Study Club, you have personal, and then the two of you are doing like other things. So I am just thinking like as a listener, it might be easy to be like, well, of course, they did all these things. It makes sense that they've been doing it for 3, 4 years. But tell us how that started. Like, how did you start thinking about, you know what, we're just going to do all these different things? Because it sounds like all different facets, and yet you're providing all these services. So, like, walk us through, like, how did you end up choosing to do all of that instead
Yeah.
of just being like, oh, let's just do the Diamond Study Club because that's what we know?
We've had a lot of pivots through get it? Pivots, huh? We've had a lot of pivots
Thank you for that.
throughout everything. We first started specifically only working with hygienists that wanted growth in their career. And we enjoyed that. And we noticed that there was still more to that. So we started to work with teams and we helped the team create that vision and mission and alignment and really implement preventative protocols and help hygienists gain the confidence that they need. Because believe it or not, a lot of, I mean, everything in life, it comes down to how confident you are with the services that you're providing. And when you can gain that confidence to have difficult conversations with patients or to prevent certain treatment plan, it can make the process a lot easier and fun. And after all, life should be fun, right? We want it to be enjoyable. So we started that and then we grew to teams. And actually, one of our friends suggested we did a study club. And so we were like, yeah, let's do a study club. We love offering CE. I mean, we speak ourselves within the industry. So we started the study club. I don't know, just it's as things have come or opportunities have presented it themselves, we just have been open to accepting them and seeing where the journey takes us, right?
I love that. I'm hearing a theme of following nudges and pivoting as needed. And I think that's something that the listener and me can take away is that, like, don't get attached to the plan. That's something that I have to say to myself sometimes. And what Danielle was saying is like providing space so that like these nudges can come through so that you have something to follow, basically. So I love that. Now, talk to us about how did you decide to become business partners? And like what has that experience been like for any listener out there who's like, I really want to start my own business, but I'm kind of afraid to do it on my own, but also I'm afraid that I might fight with my bestie if we end up working together. So like talk to us about that.
Yeah, that's a really great question. And I don't even really know if we have like a true answer of like clarity from the very beginning. It was just like, let's do this. Like, you're the growth, I'm the burnout. This would be a great little like marriage together. you can help people grow and I can help people through burnout. And so that was, I think, like our initial thought. And then literally since day one, we've always been on every single call together with every single client. And we just love it. It's been incredible. Don't get me wrong. There's been times like ebbs and flows, but you have to lead with love and you have to lead with love for self and love for the other person. So you have to have open communication and be vulnerable. And I think Laura and I are just such like a yin and a yang. We just have such masculine, feminine, like we're just very similar, but very, very different. And so I think that those attributes just really help the flow of our business, which has been so amazing. And again, I just like leading with love, as Laura would say, like is so important.
Love it. And with me, because, my brand is lead and tack. And so I am very much the kind of person that's like, I want to be the leader. So for a listener who's like that and is thinking of having a partnership, but they're a little bit worried about the dynamics of like who really gets to lead, talk us through like how that works with the two of you. Is it like a true co-leading? Like how do decisions get made? And yeah, give it to us.
Oh, I think this is such a good question. I think naturally we each have our strong suits, and so within the business, like, we've kind of just taken on those roles. Um, we do always make decisions together, and believe it or not, I think throughout our partnership, we have been on the same page pretty much every step of the way, except maybe, like, once or twice, and we just worked through it. We talked things out, and we led with love and understanding of each other, and we were able to make it work. We always have each other at, the best interest, no matter what, and know we have written ground rules for certain things regarding the business, and it is what it is.
Okay.
Did I
So
miss anything, Danielle?
No, I think that's perfect. I think you said it all.
I love it. If you were to give advice to somebody who's thinking about entering into a partnership, you've already said lead with love, you have written ground rules. Like, what are some other things that you can, like, if you had like top three advice, maybe, and each of you maybe can give the top three, like things to consider, maybe, or like,
Make sure that you really like that person because you're going to talk to them every single day of the
All the
year,
time.
like multiple times a day. And I mean, it was funny the first year I was like, wow, I don't think I've talked to anybody but my husband every single day for the whole entire year. Like, and we still like each other. But if
It is.
when you're like on that same trajectory, like when you have the same passions and you have this like very similar vision and you both want the same things, it just is easy. Like it just aligns and it just makes sense.
Yeah, and I think one key point is really make sure that you both do want the same things, and make sure that you both understand if at some point along the journey your same wants or vision starts to become different. That's okay. Just have a plan in place to see what would happen or how you would navigate that. And I think when you, again, can lead with love in that regard and know that it's okay that things may shift or change or pivot, and it might not be this end result that you originally thought it would be, that's okay.
yeah. And I kind of wish that maybe I need to find a Danielle in my life so I can also be a Laura and Danielle partnership. So, a listener, if your name's Danielle and you have the same vision as me, shoot me a DM.
How amazing would that be?
That would be hilarious.
It could happen. You never know.
You never
You
know.
never
You just put it into the universe.
Yep.
So
talk us through like the benefits of being in partner. I'm already like intrigued and I'm kind of like maybe I need to form my own LD coaching. But yeah, talk us through about like what do you think it would be like if you had gone on your own versus like how much better is it now because you're in partnership?
Oh, I don't know how many
I
times Laura and I have said to each other, like, I wouldn't do this if it wasn't for you. Like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you because there are those dark moments in the beginning of being an entrepreneur, like where you're learning, you're growing, you're stretching, and
Mhm.
it feels really uncomfortable. And the easiest thing to do is to stop or to go back to what you were doing before. And in those moments is when we both were like, okay, nope, we're going to keep going until the end of the year. And then from there, we're going to make a decision. And then things would change. And then it'd be like, all right, we're going to go till the next few months and then we're going to make a decision. But in those end of few months or years is when all of those pivots would happen, where we would change directions or do things differently or hire a different coach. And so it always just kept the momentum going.
I need to find it, Danielle.
Perseverance. Right. Yeah. Perseverance, I think. And honestly, like having that accountability partner, I am so grateful that I get to be on this journey with Danielle for so many different reasons. One, it's been so beautiful to witness her own personal growth journey. Like, if you knew the Danielle that I knew when I first met her,
I'm sure she was me, so
To
I
the
probably
Danielle.
did. I probably did.
to the Danielle that she is today, like, it is the most beautiful and rewarding thing to witness. And we get to have so much fun together. Like when we travel, when we speak. I mean, we're like an old married couple. We finish each other's sentences.
True.
I am very grateful for the good times and the bad.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm getting FOMO. That's okay. I put it out in the universe to find my own Danielle. She's coming. Or maybe it's Daniel. He's coming. I don't know, but
You're open to receive. I love it.
I'm open. I'm
Yes.
open to receive. I love it. Now, for the listener who's like, I love them so much. I also want to shine like a diamond. Like, how would people work with you? And talk to us a little bit about like, because again, it sounds like you do a lot of different things. Like, talk to us again about like what type of services you provide your clients.
Yes. So
There's so
as Laura
many.
had mentioned, I mean, there are multiple different ways that we work with our clients. We work 1-on-2, which is really fun. So, like I said, if you hire us for private coaching, it's the two of us, majority of all of the time, which is really fun and exciting. And so we do 6-month packages with our clients 1-on-2. We also have the Becoming Blueprint, which is our group coaching, which is a really amazing community of women that is growing. And we hold master classes for that. That's twice a month, 2 hours twice a month, and then some added bonuses on there as well. And then also work with teams too. So we work with hygiene teams. And that is just a passion for the dental community that we have to really give back and support. And again, going back to like the mindset and the vision and the mission, which is so, so important. Really for us with all of our clients, it's that foundational work. We know that you cannot build a house without a strong foundation. And so that's really where we begin, is like going back to the basics of your why. That has always been the starting point for all of our coaching, is for our clients to know their why and to know what their life looks like and to have that vision, because it's not always easy and we don't take the time to do that for ourselves. So that's really the foundational piece. And from there, it just beautifully grows to way more, removing those limiting beliefs and getting over that scarcity and that lack in so many different avenues of our life, and gaining confidence. And like Laura had said, it's so important. And it shows up for us not only personally, but professionally as well, once we have confidence in who we are. It's just so fun to work with our clients, to see them have these aha moments and these pivotal moments in their life that truly change the trajectory of where they're going.
I love it so much. And
Yeah.
how can people get a hold of you? Like, what's your social media? Your social media is so much fun. So I'll put it in the show notes, but like, just so you can verbally say it for those who are listening.
Yeah. So on Instagram, we're at Diamond Girls Coaching. And then our website is www.ldmcoaching.com. And you could find us on LinkedIn or Facebook at LD Coaching.
Okay, I love it. And then one final question for each of you that I ask all my guests on this podcast, and that is, if you were an item in a coffee shop, what would you be and why?
Ooh, I know
I
it's
would
like so
be
crazy. I would be a sticker,
A sticker?
because people always want the little cute sticker that they can like grab as like a souvenir of wherever they've been. Because I love getting stickers at coffee shops. It's like the weirdest thing, but like I put them on my laptop, on my water bottles. Like, how fun.
and
That
you
is
get to travel.
I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah, yeah. You get to be wherever they are. Love it.
Yeah.
So fun. I'm totally going to be a warm latte. That's what I would be, with cinnamon on top, because that's delicious. Because that makes my heart happy.
Mm,
And I want to make people's heart happy.
mm.
I
Love
love
it.
that. I kind of want to go to a coffee shop and get a sticker and a latte with cinnamon on top. That's how I'm going to call in my Danielle. That's
Yes,
At a coffee
at the
shop,
coffee
buying
shop.
a sticker.
that's
You actually might meet them there.
So good.
I honestly thank you so much, both of you, for being here. Like, I never considered being in partnership in my business. And now I'm like, that sounds like a good time. So
We have a lot of fun.
We do.
I know, I see it. I feel it. I want it. So thank
And
you.
you are incredible and you're rocking it
Thank you.
all by Laura D. So
Yeah.
you're doing awesome too.
That's true. I am the LD coaching because those are my initials.
Yeah.
Thank you both
Good.
so much. Thank you. I appreciate you both. And for the listeners, follow them. They're amazing. Their Instagram's hilarious. And follow them on LinkedIn, Instagram, all the things. And with that, I will see you next time. Big thanks again to Laura Bettencourt and Danielle Avila from LD Coaching for sharing their story so openly. These conversations are such a reminder that no pivot is too messy, too late, or too unconventional. If something said resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode with someone you know who needs it. And when you're ready to start your own pivot, head to www.leadintact.com for free resources or book a free 20-minute call with me. I'm here for you.